I mean, when you think about it, don't we all just return to mushrooms? What's up, guys? I'm Pencil here, and here to do a breakdown / live reaction review to chapter 13 of Ichi the Witch, which is known as the Silver Snow Witch. Interesting. I thought it was going to be the Kendake Mushroom part 2, and the part 3, and the part 4, and the part 5, but it looks like this will be a chapter pretty much entirely focused around Toge, whose name I actually managed to remember this time. Hallelujah! But with that being the case, I'm intrigued, and thank you for the person who revealed Kendake does not at all mean mushroom. It's like something. It's close. I think like someone explained it in last week's conversation. I was like, oh, that's not mushroom. But with that being the case, let's not waste any more time and let's hop right into it. Editing me. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1, go. What's up, guys? That guy with a pencil here. Fun fact: I do mean to have it on me and keep it on me at all times. And another fun fact: I'm still like very. I'm like she has to. It really depends. And notably, the one critique I've seen so far for Ichi the Witch, as I've been glazing the manga to the moon and back, is that technically it doesn't necessarily have an overarching direction, kinda, sorta. Like, when you think about it, it's a lot like early Bleach, where early Bleach kind of just explained, hey, there are these things called hollows, and you're a Shinigami. Hunt them. And, like, there was, like, basically no direction from that point. It's why everyone says, oh, you just need to get to, like, the first 60 or so chapters of Bleach and get to the Soul Society arc, and that's when Bleach becomes peak. And while I personally enjoy early Bleach, like, early Bleach, I can see why people say that. And we're kind of running into the same thing with Ichi the Witch, where ultimately there kind of is no directive. Like, in the grand scheme of things, we're still, like, in the feeling things out period. And, well, I'm fine with that, because I think it leads to a whole bunch of time for world building, character development, character interaction, dynamic building, which I think we've been getting fantastically for 13 chapters, or I'm only 12 chapters deep, because I haven't read this one yet, but, like, for 12 chapters deep, I feel like I understand a lot about these characters, and I like all their interactions so far. Like, there has yet to be a missed character design or a missed character so far. So I think it's cooking on that front, but I do understand the concern for a lack of an overarching, like, main goal. But with last chapter introducing that strange mysterious character, which Ichi saw and then proceeded to not see, I think we're getting something close to that. I think even the writers, or the writer Nishu Sensei and Shiro Sensei, they may have, like, heard that and then dropped that character and be like, hey, things are gonna happen now, plot's gonna plot. But the main thing that I'm still wondering is, how is this gonna go? Like, there's no way there's no way we're locking Ichi down. But let's not waste more time. Let's hop right into it. Let's see. I love these two. This is a dynamic I'm more interested to see further explored, specifically on, like, whether or not Komugi will ever actually be able to help Ichi in any sort of, like, qualitative combat state. Or, like, even, like, trial state. Like, don't get me wrong, she helped, quote unquote, last time, but realistically, it was Ichi and Descaras. Like, Komugi was there and recorded everything, but that's it. I'm interested to see if she'll ever be able to evolve beyond that. I presume she will. It seems like that's what the character was kind of built to do, but I was really convinced she was going to be, like, more pivotal to the Hisame Magic, but that isn't going to be the case. So unless she ends up clutching up here with the Kendake Magic, I'm not sure. But let's not waste too much time. Sorry, I keep saying let's not waste too much time. So, good. Gosh darn, wait, good. Ooh, gee, God, okay. That is, I keep making jokes, like consistent jokes, about how Ichi the Witch may have already transcended JJK in terms of power scaling, but it keeps getting more and more absurd. How tall are those ice things? They're even bigger than the, like, skyscraper tier mushrooms. What is that? Let's see. The ice barrier is fully deployed. As for the target magic.
Master Toge Ice! Team Descaras made contact with the magic! It looks like...
Okay. I'm sorry. I have, like, no female voices, though. We're sticking with it. We're committing.
Team Descaras made contact with the magic! It looks like this. Height approximately 6 inches.
Man, that's a really big magic. It's huge. Huge, in fact. Maybe you could even say that's too much magic. Like, they never consider that maybe there are other magics that feel a little bit inadequate about being a whole 6 inches? That's kind of crazy. Like, look at that. Like, that's huge. That's humongous. Whoa. Kendake magic. Calm down. Wait. They don't... Let me stop. Let's see.
Acquisition method is to sever the vine attached to its body.
Which is, like... That's the thing. Like, do they have pain receptors? Like, that's what I always wonder about, like, creatures that are vague, for one, immortal, for 2, and 3, have violence as, like... Not, like, technically, violence is a part of all living things' nature, but, like, Specifically in the sense that sometimes violence is required, sometimes it isn't. Like, the Hisawi Majik didn't seem to be in pain at all when it was sliced up. And I'm not sure. I would assume this cord that it's attached to is like an umbilical cord. At least that's what it looked like. It looked like it was coming out of its belly button, which at least I associate with umbilical cords. So, like, would that hurt? It sounds painful. like why would you associate yourself with it? I don't know. But let's see. I see. Well done on your covert operation. So cheating. Let's see. You may stand down.
Yes, master.
Oh, wait a moment. Oh, I thought she was just giving her head. Yeah, I don't know. I'm bad, especially since I'm really short. I'm only 2 feet tall. So, like, I shouldn't. But whenever I have the opportunity, if anyone is younger than me, I will hit them with a... like, I'm short, but I have extremely large hands. Like, they aren't, like, humongous, but they're large enough where I can, like, palm somebody's dome. I will do that. Just be like... But it looks like Toge is simply fixing their attire. Dignified, disciplined, and beautiful at all times. That means maintaining a neat and tidy appearance, so as to not shame the Mental Witches Association's name. Am I understood?
Yes, master.
I mean, it's true though. Like, obviously, not everything in life is based about appearance. It's also how you carry yourself. But like appearance, you always want to look good. Like, how's that? What like one audio go? Like, you can always be slimmer, look better. Well, you can always be slimmer to a certain degree. Like, don't be too underweight though. Being underweight to a certain degree is actually like the standard for some cases and a lot of beauty standards. But like, still, you can always try to look your best. Like, if you're ever out in public, like, I get it. If you're chilling at home, or even like you don't necessarily care what you look like on the internet for the most part, then do whatever you want. Like, you guys see me in like the same 4 or 5 shirts. Trust me, I wash them, but like still, I get it. I don't really present myself the best on here. In fact, sometimes I even forget like minor accessories. I have more. Like, where's that other one? I have more, he says, and then proceeds to immediately forget where the more is. But like, I do have other things I could just wear, but they make a lot of noise. like I have a bracelet of sorts, but like it's a whole bunch of trinkets, and thus like, it would make a lot of noise. That's why I typically just wear these. But still, I get it. Especially when you're representing like a group or an organization, or even your own family and yourself. You typically always do want to look better, look neat, look composed, because then people are going to think, whoa, they know what's going on. A lot, like, they say the first impression is the most important thing, and the first impression isn't just your first impression of like meeting somebody and speaking to them, but also it's just when they look at you. People will assume a lot just by looking at you, so it's always better to look better. Let's see. Ooh, interesting. So, Monogold and Shidabadona. I wonder if all the witches are watching or if it's just these two. At least I assume this is Monogold because of, what looks like gold. Let's see. Oh, nope. Yep, it is the 2 of them, but I don't see the other witches. I wonder how this contest is going to go. What do you think? Who do you think is going to catch the mushroom magic first? Oh, good question. Ichi, the witch, does bring a unique perspective to hunting magics. You never know what he'll do next, and that makes him fascinating to watch. But Toge is no easy opponent to defeat. So, like, I do genuinely wonder, though. But I guess a universe like this would be even more... Yeah, it on average would be even more interesting to study than ours, right? Because, like... My apologies, I had to hydrate. But... What was I about to say? Oh, yeah, the universe has to be innately more interesting to study. It's a world of magic, right? Like, think about how many different things we research in our regular world with no other sentient dominant species. Like, I mean, sentience is an argued thing, whether or not other animals are sentient, especially like what level of brain activity considers sentience, blah, 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 blah. We've had this debate many a time before. But, like, there are fields of study for, like, literally everything. Imagine what it would be like if there were literally hundreds, if not thousands, of other sentient creatures who had abilities to control the fundamental nature of our world. And they could communicate with us, or we could communicate with them, and even worse, or even better, I guess, in this case, hunt them. And then get control of them. And then study the effects of what we can do with that. Like, yeah, I get why Shidabadana would have, like, not only have a position as the analytic witch, but also be pretty highly regarded and respected. Because, like, you would want an authority on something like that. And if someone dedicates their entire like life, body, and soul to that, they'd be trusted and they'd have a lot of power. Or at least it's not a lot of power, like a lot of status. Like you trust the doctor more than you trust the layman, right? Like if you need a diagnosis, you aren't going to the guy you meet on the street unless he happens to be a doctor. Plot twist. But you're going to the doctor. Let's see. She specializes in ice magic, with 16 magic acquisitions to her name. That's it? Ain't you a full-grown woman?
That's it.
Wait. She, like Descados, has a natural gift for magic. Gosh darn it, magic. Oh, interesting. So we are building a pseudo rivalry between these two. Few were surprised when the two of them became the two youngest girls in the Manga history to attain the title, the full title of witch, at age 11. Age 11? God, but how old are they now? That's good for a friend. Let's see. No, let's stop. Let's see. So interesting. Only 16 though. I know they said like magic acquisition can take a long time, but especially considering those, like, so wait, then how many does Descados have? Well, they're probably about to say it, but like, how 16 doesn't sound that impressive, but I guess let's say if the average magic hunt takes like a year, and they only became witches at 11, and let's say they're 18 now, let's say they're just adults, 7 years, 16, about on average like 2. That's bad math. Like 2.5 magics per year. It's not bad. It's just I was thinking like upwards of darn near like 20 or something along those lines. Let's see. Which 11? Oh, wasn't she 14 when she installed the Association's magic security system? Y'all didn't have one of those? Wait, what? Wait a minute. Wasn't she? Okay, so 14 when she did that. But still, that's absurd. Y'all didn't have that? Y'all didn't have any magic security system? How new is the Montana Witches Association that you didn't have that? I mean, once again, maybe it's just like a recent development in universe, but still, that's kind of absurd that you didn't have a magic security system until a 14-year-old came along and made you do it. How effective are you? How effective are you? Let's see. Between Descanos' shenanigans and Toge's unending attempts to rein her in, we had a single day of peace and quiet back then. Not that we do now, either. But you know what? I like that Descanos, even if she is all on Ichi's case now because he's the wild jungle boy, it's clear that they acted at least somewhat similar. Like, obviously Descanos apparently did go to the school and like did get a traditional education for the most part, but she was still a wild child and ultimately needed to be reined in not by just the academy itself, but also by Toge's. So like, that is a wombo combo that reminds me of Ichi now, who needs to be reined in not just by Descanos, but also arguably Uroro, whenever he decides to appear, because he's a very rare character now. And then again, he's a lot like Sukuna. In that sense that I think about it. A lot like Sukuna. But Ichi now needs to be reined in by Descanos and Kabuki, and occasionally other people, such as the Matrix he's fighting. But still, I like that. I like that little comparison right there. Toge cares more than anyone about the good of the Montana Witches Association. I wonder why. I mean, like, obviously it's just you want to make your job look good, but it's still interesting that she has so much dedication to it. See, man, I've been holding off on the glaze. And you know what? I'm going to hold off on the glaze a little bit more because I want to draw something for myself. I failed at drawing Descanos like a few weeks back, and I was like, my hand was twitching. I was like, why isn't this working? So until I draw something, I'll only do some light glaze here. This art style is beautiful, and it's because like the weird thing is, right? It's beautiful because it takes well, I kind of already did the whole evolving simplicity, doing detail in excess on a rather simple design, in depth with the Kamugi color page from last chapter review or the chapter review before that, I do forget, but this is just another case of that dog. From the shadow to the different levels of shading on the gold hat, to the design on the glove, to the different levels of darkness on the glove reflecting where the light cuts off based on the lighting angle, to even the details of the dress. Like, this is just absurd. This is absurd. Like, I genuinely, I can't help but glaze. Let's see. Shirwadonna, if anything ever happens to me, I think I'll nominate Toge as my successor as president of the Montana Witches Association. How old are they? How old is this guy's now? Let's see. Interesting, though. Interesting. So, Monaco's gonna die. So, there's that. Monaco's gonna die. And you'd be like, whoa, Pencil, that's an awful morbid insinuation. Why would we bring this up? I'm like, I don't know Chekhov, but I know he has something. And it's on that darn wall. Not on my wall, but it's on a wall. And you don't just lay it up there. Thing is though, Monaco, we're gonna need a lot more from you before I remotely care about your death. Don't turn into a Fire Emblem parent. Do not turn into a Fire Emblem parent where I do not care at all when you perish. Please. Become a character first. That's my only request. Monaco, become a character. You haven't done much. So please become a character. Oh, I'm shocked you are nominating Shirbadonna. Well, then maybe Shirbadonna shouldn't be the leader, but still. I believe she's opposed to debuting Ichi to the magic world out of concern of how it would affect the association's future. It's her way of expressing her loyalty and care, which is true and quite obvious. It does make sense, right? Like, especially considering, while we haven't seen too much of it, I assume this world is very, like, any information like that, it's just too valuable and too dangerous, and changing up the status quo like that and admitting you have the capacity to change the status quo like that would be genuinely absurd. Though admittedly, if Deskos truly is the strongest witch on the planet, quote unquote, out of all associations, and she isn't just getting glazed, shouldn't be a problem. Let her wipe him. Though then again, Deskos could probably and possibly would get jumped. We'll see. Loyalty and care. I love how Shirbadonna is just hanging off every single word. And I admit, she's doing better than me. My knees on a wooden desk, not working like that. Not as how old I am now. Let's see. Considering how freewheeling the other witches are, I think she'd make the best choice of leader in my absence. Oh. So like all of you are nutcases. Well, not all of you. Clearly Monogold isn't. But like a lot of you are nutcases. It's not just Deskos. And presumably Shirbadonna. Like all of you are nuts. So like, what's the problem? Let a crazy person lead other crazy people. Then again, no. I'm trying to think of like every other organization ever. Usually, certainly Sin's Meliodas. And then again, in that same universe, you have Zeldris. And you have like 10 Commandments leader Meliodas. Then you have like the deities, which lead their respective realms. Yeah, and I think about a lot of it. Usually it's a serious, old, orderly, powerful character that leads these organizations. Yamamoto, Aizen. Yeah. I wouldn't say Stark counts. But let's see. What about me? No. Jeez! The immediate no? No. You weren't even interested. Honestly, I get that. I'll admit, I've wholeheartedly done that before. And admittedly, sometimes I have gotten that. I've gotten the position by straight accident. Like, the position of leader. Like, there's one time where I was, like, working in a massive group project with a bunch of people. And like, someone else got appointed leader, and I'm perfectly fine. I do not care to follow. Just give me the work, I'll get it done. Give me a task, I'll do it. I'm very, I'll admit, I'm rather simple-minded and very task-oriented. It's why things like content creation, or now, like, working out, now that I've focused in on it, because admittedly, I struggled working out a whole lot before, because I was just lazy and inconsistent. But, like, as long as I have a task, I can typically complete a task. But I had done, like, something, just a roundabout, and then the person who was overseeing our group was like, you pencil. You lead. And I was like, I had like a shocked reaction at first, and they said, are you not okay with that? And I was like, oh no, I'm fine with it. I'm just surprised. And then proceeded to lead. So I get that. But either being put in a scenario where you're made to lead, or even worse, offering up your willingness to lead, especially when you don't actually care about leading. Yeah, kind of die. Let's see. Deskos, out of the question. Then again, yeah, I wouldn't. Like, it's kind of like how I wouldn't really want Gojo to like lead the JJK world. I wouldn't want Deskos to lead the Mental Witches Association. Let's see. All of the many magic prodigies we have, she was the most dedicated, studious, serious, hardworking, the least egotistical of them all. Oh, that's actually impressive. I mean, like, I've known people who are extremely intelligent, or if not intelligent, extremely good at one thing and humble, but like, typically, it kind of just comes with the territory. If you're the best of the best, then again, she had a Deskos, right? She had someone who did end up still being her superior. So maybe that's what happened. Because I do know people who like got up real high through either a mix of talent and hard work, or just straight talent, and they got a little arrogant. And hey, honestly, I'm the kind of person where I'm like, oh, you got arrogant? For good reason. you earned it. Like, there back in my days where I used to dash down the lines for the 100-meter and the 200-meter. There was one guy, he was just faster than me. He was faster than me. And he would talk all the smack in the world. But he was the fastest on the team. What was I supposed to do? Like, can I get mad at you, dog? Like, he worked real hard, and he was taller and had longer legs than me. And he had better drop. Like, he was just better. Like, I can't even. There's a point where you just can't hate. Is that wrong? Like, I've hit that at certain points where I'm like, yeah, you just like that. Like, let me not talk no smack. What's it? That is Toge's. But then why does she have no sense of direction? That is the Silver Snow Witch. Whoa, is this the first? Toge? Is this the first last name? Ichi the Witch, Kabugi. She hasn't gotten a last name. Death Scars hasn't gotten a last name. All right. Let's see. Chiku Toge, Togais, Tojis. I'm gonna keep saying Togais, even though I see the E. I see the E. I'm warning you. I see the E. I'm gonna keep calling her Togais. Togais. Ooh, what you better do though? She better aim the wrong way. Click. Well, then again, Ichi also has ice. Ooh, sweet mother of mercy. Holdra. What is this? What is she? What is this? Another creature that souls JJK? Oh, sweet mother of mercy! What's that? Dignified, disciplined, beautiful. Am I clear, everyone?
What is that?
She summoned multiple ice dragons. Okay, Ichi. maybe I need you to hold the back. I need to see you do this. I need you to summon ice dragon. What is this? What is this? So is this one of the magic she tamed? Is this a manifestation of one of them? Because we know that whenever the powers are used by Ichi, like sometimes, or at least with Inazori would like spawn in with him, at least sometimes. So I wonder if this is like the manifestation of a magic she tamed, or if this is literally just all her like raw skill manifesting a gargantuan ice dragon, multiple ice dragons too. Golly, I can't tell if this is one singular ice dragon or like a three-headed hydra either. That's impressive. Golly. Yeah, honestly, yeah. Yes, master. She's so cool. Literally and figuratively. Yeah, I gotta put respect on her name. Golly. She's a strict teacher, but she takes her lessons seriously, and you will learn. Her students love her. Okay, so what's gonna go wrong? Though, well, can she not aim to save her life? Gee, okay, just freeze it all, I guess. Golly. We freeze every inch of this forest solid. You gonna defrost all that? Yes, master. She can be a bit of a meathead in combat. Okay. I ain't gonna lie, though. Yo, hey, peep the new mug. Y'all, it's so much fun. Bubba, he ran off, all right? The big jug, he ran off into the distance. I don't know where he went. He just up and there. I still have him. And, like, honestly, I may just sneak fill both of them if ever I'm doing a long recording session so I can just don't have to, like, get up and refill. But I love this thing. That guy pencil, I love it. But with that being the case, I get that. And admittedly, with track and field, it really is all about brute force. You kind of just need to run as hard as you can or throw as hard as you can. Well, obviously with technique involved, but like still, do what you can to the utmost of your ability, the hardest and fastest you can do it. But I remember like back in like the high school gym days, man, I was 100% like a brute force meathead. I don't care as long as it works. I would just technique. Technique. I don't know nothing about no technique. It's just like volleyball. There'd be like okay, so you got to bump, set. No, the ball must not hit the ground on our side and must hit the ground on their side within bounds. That was the only rule I followed. I don't care if I was the first person receiving it, the second person, the last. As long as I could, it was or like I would just hit the ball up or over the net. That's all I cared about. I didn't care about the form, none of that. So I get it. I understand being a British meathead when it comes to that. I do love how Shirbadan is all entertainment. I think she, as the story progresses, as long as we get more and more of her, I think she'll end up becoming one of my favorite characters too. Okay, how's Ichi the Witch going to counter this? Is he gonna be frozen on the next page? Please no. Then again, he should be able to use ice magic of his own, right? Because the Hisame magic. I can't wait to see. yeah. I'm gonna love Shirbadan. Let's see. Wait, I gotta hit the toe voice.
Mario! My mushrooms! They're getting frozen over! Oh no! What do I do? They're taking away all my places to run! And if I don't have anywhere to run, then he will find me.
That sounds ominous. But then again, like, in no universe would I ever want to be hunted. Like that is one of the most terrifying things ever. If I was ever slipped a note and they were on the note it said, "The hunt begins. You are the target. You have 10 minutes. Run." I'd be like, "Oh, well, I guess it's over then." I'd be terrified. So I don't blame the genuine fear, especially like there was, and it reminds me of, I keep referencing back my youth, but unfortunately my youth is all I had to reference. We all remember, well, I'm not sure if other people played it, but back in my day, when I was a youngin', we played a little game called Octopus Tag, where there was one person, and then everyone else had to run from them. But every single time that the person who was tagged somebody, the person would have to stand there or sit down, depending on like whatever day it was. Like sometimes you would have to sit down and like snatch at ankles, and then sometimes you could stand up. You just had to stay in place. But typically you sat down just to make sure you didn't move too much, or at least if you were moved, it was obvious. But then you would have to try and tag the other people remaining as the main person still running around was hunting people. And the thing about that is, it was fun to be one of the last people left standing, but at the same time, you then had to like get ultra super technical. You had to be like, okay, I gotta move this way, that way, in order to get past them. But ultimately, I also need to make sure my ankles don't get snatched. Quite literally, like there was one time someone grabbed my ankle and I straight face planted. I did not notice they were there as I was trying to dash away from being tagged. They grabbed my ankle and just. They fell with me because I was still a big kid at the time. But still, they got me, and I was like, oh well. And then I proceeded to cross my leg and just. But yeah, the Kindake Monster is in the same scenario. But let's see, who's stomping? This man is, I give credit. Ichi can be fundamentally horrifying for what, a 15-year-old? Like, this man is crazy. Let's see. Did he cut the belly? Did he cut the umbilical? Oh, well, I guess it's not an umbilical cord, it's a tail. It's more so a tail.
How does he always find me, no matter where I hide?
You literally have a tail, bro.
I thought we were supposed to be more like that, attacking us with big flashy spells.
I mean, a lot of them are. You aren't entirely wrong, Kindake. Let's see.
So, who the heck is he?
Tonight, we have mushroom soup. Oh, it's just so he's genuinely okay. Looks like he's running with the Isami magic made him genuinely angry. He's like, I will eat you, one of you, or your productions. You will be devoured on my name as Ichi the Witch. So now he's literally collecting mushrooms to eat. I do wonder though, maybe, I'm guessing what happened is every single time the Kindake Magic runs, it leaves a trail of these smaller mushrooms, and that's what Ichi's collecting. Interesting though that he's not using his wand, but then again, maybe he's trying to move more subtly in order to make sure that Togeis can't track him. And also, no Kamugi and no Deskados this chapter. We got flashback cutoffs in this anage, but that's about it, and the mentions of her throughout the chapter. But this is the only sighting of our main trio, I'd say. And once again, no Urara. I mean, it works. Once again, I'm finding that he's much less a fourth main character and more so like a Sukuna-esque character, where he's the inner D archetype. And he kind of stays there silently for the most part until he pops up for the occasional thing. But I'm interested. I wonder who's going to succeed. Presumably, Miss Brute Force is going to mess up accidentally, but Ichi is clearly taking his time, because I feel like he could have sliced their tail if he really needed to. Considering he's found them, at least according to this page, like 3 separate times in all these different holes, areas, and places. So he's kind of just like messing around right now. So hopefully he doesn't accidentally mess himself up and get him like soft locked into the school arc. But with it being the case, thank you so much for watching. If you're all the way to the end of this review, please do me a favor and leave soup mushroom. Yeah. Oh yeah. Soup mushroom in the comment section down below. Again, thank you so much for watching. Please remember to leave a like, share, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any videos that come from the channel. Also, I do have a Patreon down below, where you can support me for as little as count 'em $1 a month to get things like exclusive videos, early content, and more. You can also now become a member to the channel for as low as $3 a month to get the same perks and more. So those perks will include the live reactions to every other series I happen to review, ad-free variations of all my videos, and if you become a $25 patron or a $25 member, you can order whatever video you want. Also, I do happen to have a link to my Ko-Fi in the description down below, where you can drop 5 beans for a short video, 25 beans for a long video, or any beans at all. Any support is always greatly appreciated. Now, I'd like to thank you so much for watching once again, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. This is That Guy with the Pencil, writing off. I'd like to give a thank you to our $3 members: Zara, Greyhound, Eternal Flame, Red Wolf 4765, Astro, Brandon Payne, Glacier XZ, and G Prosper.
And I'd like to give a thank you to our $5 members, A plus A, Ignil Lind, Kevin Encarnacion, Midnight Lord 21, and Sean. And I'd like to give a thank you to our $7 members, Fine, Austin Wimberly, Uchiha, and Yuki Ally. And I'd like to give a thank you to our $10 members, AZ Void, J Warrior, and Robbie Uchiha. And I'd like to give a big ol' thank you to our $10 patrons, Overlord Zero, Waki Munoz, and Idem Okami. And I'd like to give a final, gracious, gargantuan thank you to our $100 That Guy with a Pencil tier patron, Calvin Elder.